want your brain. I just want your heart. Yeah, I don't want your heart. I just want your heart, 'cause I want you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching First Kill, Episode 1.
First Kiss.
First Kiss. I knew nothing about this whatsoever. You even told me about it twice, and I retained nothing. And so on a whim, we decided to go ahead and watch this. We sat down. I didn't even look up, rating reviews or anything. I didn't want to know anything about it.
I don't know any of that stuff.
Going in, I will say right off the top, in case you're enthusiastically looking for content about this, I do like it. Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Started a little slow. I'm interested in the build-up, though.
Well, I wanted to say that. I wanted to get that out of the way because I'm probably going to spend a good deal of time making fun of it.
Okay.
It is, the second the first episode was over, I said to Will, I was like, it's really cheesy.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's surprisingly watchable.
Yeah. Before we even started, because Rachel was blow-drying her hair and we didn't want to start while she was still doing that, you were looking at the screen and you were like, Juliet and Calliope. Oh, no.
This is well-trodden territory. Is it a book? It feels like a book. It's
at least a short story by V.E. Schwab. She's like a YA-ish writer right now.
It feels like a book. It feels YA. I will say also, she, I think, wrote the screenplay for this episode at least. And I think, I'm not mad at it. I want to see if she did the rest of them also. Because if so... the voiceover's got to go.
Not even necessarily, although it is a good episode 1 trick to pull out and then let go away. But I think it's one of those things where it's the author wants all of the things that are her favorite part to get into it. And so that's what I'm feeling right now. Yeah.
There's something about it that I can't quite put my finger on. Yeah. Because it's not an expensive show, but it's not cheap. There were several visual effect shots. Yeah. The locations, the wardrobe, the stuff is nice, but there is a chintzy quality to it that I'm a little bit sort of so is this the pilot episode of it all? Is this the Netflix of it all? Is this the season 1? Okay,
so the other thing is I almost want to say this was initially created for actual TV because it was 42 minutes. So it was right on the money. And there was a moment where Calliope and her brothers are in the cemetery and it straight up started looking like a soap opera. And I was like, did motion smoothing turn itself off on my TV? So I think there's multiple factors going into it.
Again, though, I'm coming back to it was just watchable. Yeah. I was a little bit surprised how pulled in I was. And it's well-trodden territory, with Juliet's, initial sort of angst. Her, does she fit in? Does she not fit in? Her relationship with her parents. The trademark was on the sister when she walked in. Yeah. The copyright, in every scene she was in.
Well, it also was Will's favorite character, TM, is what it really was. Her name is Eleanor.
Yeah, she's giving me Emmy Rossum in Beautiful Creatures. Ooh. But I don't think she's going to be evil.
A little less dark, yeah.
Because almost immediately it was flipped. I was thinking they were going to be opposite. Because Calliope is a little bit bigger.
You thought she was going to be
the vampire. And I thought that Juliet was going to be the hunter because she has a scrappy quality. Okay. In a way that her mother and sister look like vampires.
They're very tall and willowy.
The incomparable Elizabeth Mitchell. Yeah. I love her so much. She does one thing and one thing only. She's very good at it. Beautiful.
And she's been getting paid for that for 30 years.
But yeah, so Juliet is a vampire. She, given the cliche of it all, I was pulled into the world. And it's one of our favorite things about vampire. Because I would say in the grand scheme of monster sci-fi fantasy creatures, vampires are the most prevalent. It's always a little bit fun starting out a mythos because you're like, okay, so what's real? What's canon? Yeah. What's this version? Because Calliope even throws down the word daywalker. Yeah. And they didn't feel the need to explain to the audience what that means because
it's so self-explanatory. Also, she can walk in the day. She can see her reflection. She doesn't seem to have. I mean, she doesn't seem to eat human food, but she.
Well, we don't know.
No, she definitely doesn't.
Well, okay, yeah, but I'm like, we don't know what the deal is because it's like she was taking these pills, and apparently she's not meant to be taking them anymore. I'm guessing it's like a puberty at the onset of.
They're blood pills. She just doesn't want to make her first kill. But
they were talking about
like suppressing the instinct.
No, I understand that.
I mean, it's a puberty metaphor. But
sure, but because Elizabeth Margot had her whole thing about how they were not infiltrating, but like mainstreaming, like they were going. So I'm like, they can't. It was giving me Twilight vegetarian vampires, or are we think they're actually out killing?
I think they're actually out killing because Eleanor, in her drawer, she had a ton of driver's licenses from all her kills.
Yeah,
they were all from Florida and Georgia.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah, they're all from Florida.
That's a precedent for the show. I love that it's in Savannah. We took a trip to Savannah a few years ago. Beautiful city. And
very old.
Yeah, but it suits this type of.
It does. Well, because I saw some of the houses and I was like, New Orleans, and I was like, that's a little overplayed.
Well, there was that pink one, and I was like, I've eaten dinner in this house, and it turns out, yes,
literally called like the pink house.
No, I love the location. I love the Southern Gothic of it all. It also major Teen Wolf vibes.
I got a little,
but more because it's like the hunters. So the first half quite literally, the first half we focused on Juliet, and we got their meet cute. I like Juliet's friend. Was it Ben?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I liked him a lot. At first, I was sort of like, I kept waiting. I kept anticipating rolling my eyes, and very few times did it happen.
Yeah.
Considering, again, how kind of silly the show is. I liked him a lot. I thought the actor was doing a lot with the minimal material he was given. I do enjoy this, like, post whatever, where people can just, I don't know what to call it, but where people can just be gay and not have to have this big coming out.
Like, they dated each other for a month when they were 12, and then they both decided they were gay, and I'm just like, cool, love that. But they didn't decide they were, they realized they were gay. Sorry.
I clocked that. I was like,
it was just a slip of the tongue.
I suppose that I buy into their initial meet cute, their initial conceit. There was, I guess she just thinks she's hot. I guess she's just been noticing her around. And Calliope Cal definitely has an aloof quality that she's been honing over her young adult life. The scene with the bee was very strange.
Very strange. We were like, that's a CGI bee.
Well, and it's not that it looked bad, but it was just sort of like, there's a bee in the scene and I don't know why. But I thought it was interesting. There was almost sort of like, that's kind of how Cal knew she was a vampire.
Well, she could like sort of smell it and feel
it too.
Yeah. It's one of the things that like in the Buffy movie, they make a point of it. You like which is like so kind of gross, but when she feels a vampire, it feels like cramps. And that they really dropped that for the show. She like, there's a lot of times where there's a vampire literally right behind her and she has no idea. And the vampire's like, I'm not going to get involved. And it deuces the other way. But it was like, it was like a whole feeling and everything.
The hunters, the Burns family, they were a lot of fun too. Yeah. I was getting way more characters than I was anticipating.
Definitely, yes. I also love the mom. Her name, I think, is Talia. And then the dad is Jason R. Moore from The Punisher. He played Curtis. I love Curtis from The Punisher. I was just super psyched to see him. It was a lot of fun.
I also really like Theo and Apollo. You kept the entire time you were waiting for one of them to die.
Like they were going to have to save her and one of them was going to die. Yeah.
And we didn't get that. I imagine we will before the season's
probably at some point
over.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that we just came out like right out of the gate with is that, yes, it is more than vampires.
Yeah.
There is like
there's
lots
ghouls. They were talking about something else. There was like some monstrous thing.
Well, I was going to say the two like flashbacks to their first kills. Both of those things were like beasts.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen and officially start the countdown or the
Is that why you're wearing this shirt?
the lookout for mermaids.
mermaids.
I never get them in these types, but I feel like this. If one of them was gonna do it, this might be the one.
It could be this.
So there's lots of swampy.
Yeah, in Savannah.
Yeah,
I don't know that I want a swampy mermaid.
it could work.
Margot also made a comment about like the father, his name is Sebastian, having like made it safe for them in Savannah for the vampires.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure entirely what that means, but
Do I know him?
I thought so too, but I couldn't. I clicked on him and I didn't really know. He was in The Greatest Showman.
Oh, Sabrina. He was Pan in Sabrina. He's married to Audra McDonald.
IRL?
Yeah.
No way.
Has been married to Audra McDonald since October. I was like, I thought he was hot in another fantasy thing that I watched. Yeah, I want to know more, and I feel like we're gonna get more. I feel like there's a lot of like I said, I'm kind of pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
I think if you can get over the silliness or the silly factor, I feel
and
like
that
they've
one song.
So there were a lot of songs happening.
Weird lyrics. I feel like this show was initially produced for the CW.
Yeah, I was surprised by the TVMA rating. And so far, I don't think it's earned or necessary, but we'll see where it goes. When they were making out in the closet, and she knocked over the jar of cherries.
Come on.
Shattered cherries.
I get it.
I don't know, but do you wish they didn't do that? It's sort of like, it's one of those things where I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. It's also, but that's the part that I like the most.
Exactly. No, I don't wish they didn't do it, but also, who's just got that many
jars of cherries? I don't know whoever had that mansion.
Jars of self-canned cherries? Like that, you don't buy that at the store.
There also seems to be a cast of day players. I don't know who that blonde at the party was. She
her
seemed
name
like
is
fun.
Ashley Stanton.
She seemed like fun.
That's her character name.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's also a redhead that makes very bold stylistic choices.
Yeah, that I don't think is listed yet.
And they were in the backgrounds of all the scenes. So it's giving me like a Mean Girls thing where we're going to get this like mythos of who these people are. Because I even forgot to write down the list or the guy who's having the party to know if he can join the upper echelon of Bogey Lowenstein and Glenn Coco. And
well, the thing about Bogey Lowenstein is that we do see him.
Sure. Yeah. But there's another one that has Melody Bostic. I love the people that have the parties.
Because we generally don't see them.
It was Noah something, because he's the one that Ben fancies.
Yeah.
Maybe, who has a girlfriend, but maybe is
There's not a Noah listed. Here, there's a Bo. I think maybe Bo was having the party.
I don't know. I'm kind of...
Everybody's like, it doesn't fucking matter who's throwing the party. And we're like, I have to know. I have to know.
And I like their dynamic. I like that she's kind of a tomboy.
Yeah.
And he's definitely a gay. Hi, gay. But it's not like I'm not watching somebody... playing gay or like he's bringing something.
I think it's just being a person. I think he's just being a human person, and it's working gangbusters.
There's people who are gay, and then there's people where it's they are gay.
Yeah,
like it's their entire identity, and that can be really taxing. But I don't know. I relate to it with his like. I always hung out with the lesbians. I always got along better with the lesbians than the other gay guys. So. I don't know. There was something relatable about it.
If the world ever ends, find the lesbians.
The lesbians. I swear to God. The most helpful group of people.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised at how into it I am.
I'm a little surprised how into it you are as well.
Cannot stress enough. It's the lowness of the stakes, I think.
Sure. Yeah. That's fair.
I think if there was a big production, like a big to-do being made, I would be more put off or put out. Executive producer Emma Roberts.
Well, we love to see it.
Yeah, and
just for funsies.
She's gotta show up at one point.
I would hope.
Maybe season 2.
Maybe.
Because that's where I know it's fantasy's a me thing and everyone else is fine with the horror, but it's like I kind of want to go a weird like fantasy way where I'm like, can we get like a fairy queen or something?
Sure. Yeah.
And it'd be Emma Roberts and she's just like full cunt.
You know what's a shame is that the City of Bones series never actually ended up And it never got adapted well because there's fairies littered all over that.
Well, shadow hunters, right?
That's what it is.
Yeah, because what's her face from Modern Family was a fairy queen in that.
She was the Sealy queen.
I tried so hard to get into that show, and I just couldn't make it happen.
They've boned both adaptations.
And one of them had Lena Headey.
That was the movie. That was worse than the show.
Yeah, but it's hard to fuck up a blessing like that. But let's just go watch the next one.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, did we finish talking about the song? We can talk about it later.
No, it doesn't really matter.
There's a lot of cunnilingus on the couch.
Hentai boobies.
Yeah. There were words happening. She's a slave like Britney Spears. Yeah. And
also, we didn't mention they end up making out with each other at the end, and Juliet bites Calliope, and the Calliope stakes her, and that's where we end. Yeah. So we'll pick that up right now.